I will be answering questions that people asked me a couple of days ago. I asked a question. I made a post asking people. I said, if you had the opportunity to sit with me and ask me just one career or one business question, what will it be? And many people asked a lot of questions. Hundreds of questions came in. So I will try to answer a couple of those questions today. But if you have questions for me, please ask them in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer as much as possible, and other people can also learn. Please do share the live. I'm tracking people who are sharing the live. Maybe I may do a giveaway after the live session. You never know, right? All right, so let me answer a couple of questions that I have here. There's a question that came from Mercy. I am not selecting, I'm just asking as the questions came. There's a question that came from Mercy, and the question was, what do I do to save a little from this my small business, coupled with too much expenditure that depends solely on it? Is there hope it will expand? So this is the kind of situation where you are running a small business, and all the expenditure, maybe your personal expenditure and the business expenditures, depend on that small business. And probably it's a small business with small capital, and sales are not, coming the way that they can grow the business. However, in this kind of situation, she still would like to save some money. One thing about savings is discipline. If you are not very disciplined, you cannot save. And many a times, I always tell people that saving start first with you developing the attitude, have the culture of saving. Even if you start saving just 500 francs, you start saving just 1,000 francs every month or every week. The goal when you're starting the saving process is for you to put yourself in that culture, in that attitude where you are conscious to always save money that you make, right? Because if you are going to create wealth, it starts with you knowing how to make money, then keep money before you can multiply the money. Why is it important to keep money? Because when you keep money, which is what they call savings, you get to think deeply and strategically what you will do with that money. People who make hasty investment decisions, you hear people who say things like, some manager enter me at the check thing for due day. People like that always make very bad money decisions. So it is good to have the character and the culture of keeping money. That's where savings come in, right? So train yourself in that culture. People who wait to start making a lot of money before they start saving are always very bad savers. But people who are making a little amount of money and they train themselves and get into that attitude of saving the money always end up being very good with financial intelligence and making more money from the money they have already made, right? So mercy starts from the discipline, okay? And also you managing your expenses is going to help you a lot. Okay, the next question that somebody asked was from Beryl Nange. The next question was, how do I write a business plan? Asking from Douala, how do I write a business plan? Now, business plans depends on who you're writing the business plan for or the purpose for that business plan. For example, a business plan for a bank is different from a business plan to an investor. And a business plan for yourself, so you can just know you can just gather a lot of business data about that business idea is different, and maybe a business plan to give to a family member because you asked them for money and they asked you a business plan is different, right? So, but if you want to write a business plan, like a restaurant business plan, which is a basic business plan, you just need to, the easiest thing to do is go on Google and type sample restaurant business plans. You see many of them. The difference now is contextualize it to your environment, right? But one thing that makes a business plan is the real data that you have gathered about that business and the locality where you're going to operate that business. For example, a very important part that makes a business plan is the budget, the startup budget for that business. And if you're going to have the right budget, you need to go to, let's say she said she was in Douala, so she needs to go to the market in Douala and begin to ask questions. How much does it cost to get dishes, pots, rent a restaurant space, and all of that? So the real marketplace data from Douala will make her business plan to be more real and more standard, right? And information about competitors, where she wants to locate the business and how many restaurants are in that area and the kind of food she'll be cooking and who she'll be targeting. All of that will contribute to the business plan, okay? But the business plan must have the right information like I have indicated, all right? Welcome again, everybody. For those who are joining right now, I just had some time on my hands and I decided to answer the questions that many of you asked when I gave people the opportunity to ask me questions. And if you are following this and you have a career question or a business question, you can ask in the chat box and I will happily respond to that question. Okay, there's a question here from Mia Atonge. The question says, how do I go about in search of international sponsors on a health project? She's based in Douala, meaning that she has a health project, maybe a community health project, a public health project, or maybe she wants to set up a health center or a health clinic, and she's looking for international sponsors. Now, let me start in another dimension by saying that we are in a dispensation where nobody funds ideas. Very few people are so opportune to get sponsors to fund ideas. So if you have only ideas and you're looking for funders or investors, it is going to be very difficult. People that already have a track record easily get investors and funders more than people have just ideas. And I always say that if you are serious at starting something, start with what you have. Find a way to start. Find a way to raise money and start on your own without looking for external sources. And I always like to emphasize that you need external money to grow what you have started. And people like to give money in things that have a track record. It's not about how big you have become. No, it is about what have you started and can you prove that what you need money for? Can you prove that what you need money for is working? Okay, so this health project that you want to start at Tonga, have you started this health project you're talking about? Have you started already? These funders you're searching for, these sponsors are searching for, have you already started the project or is still an idea? If it is an idea, then it is going to be difficult for you, not impossible though, but difficult for you to actually get the sponsors, right? So you need to find a way to start small. Then you can start looking for sponsors. You get a point? And one way to get sponsors is you need to be in the environment where things like this are happening. For example, if you run an NGO or you're running a health project like this, and you are not attending NGO seminars or NGO events where you can meet where other people are talking about sponsors who have sponsored their own projects, you will always be cut off from people who actually sponsor projects in your sector. You see, another thing to do is be very good with online, be very good at doing research on the internet. Sometimes you can just go on Google and type top health funders in sub-Saharan Africa, top health funders in Cameroon. When you do that, you will start getting a sense, a blueprint of the kind of people who fund health projects in your environment or in your country. You get the concept? Good. So you need to start doing that. And also, one thing that I have coached people to do and they've been able to do and they have seen some success is when you start doing your work, many times learn to write monthly reports. And when you write monthly reports, identify the top key stakeholders in that industry or in that area, go to their websites, look for their emails, and just send them reports. Keep them updated of what you do. It makes it easier that the time that you will need funding, they already know you. They can quickly trust you when they have been seeing the work that you're doing. There are many people who do projects, but they don't have any monthly reports. So they basically have no track record that somebody can follow to see the amazing work that they're doing. Okay, so those are some things that you can do to get international sponsors. And while you're doing that, please learn to write good projects. You cannot be searching for international sponsors with an idea or with just words. No. Learn how to write the projects you want to implement in a document that somebody can read, understand, and see how they can be part of that project that you want to do. Okay? There's a question here from Nchia Berinet. How to start a side hustle? Which business is the best now? That's her question. How to start a side hustle and which business is the best right now? Okay. Well, a side hustle depends on many things. A side hustle depends on how much time you have. A side hustle depends on how much skills you have. A side hustle depends on how much money you have to invest in that side hustle. You understand? Let me give you an example that there's a guy I know in Douala. He stopped it because he has grown. But there's a guy I know in Douala that he was a teacher, a secondary school teacher, but he decided to buy a second-hand, how do they call this, motorcycle, Okada, right? After school in the evening, he will spend about 2, 3, 4 hours on the road doing his Okada. And he was doing all of that to raise money to do something better with his life. That's a side hustle. His full-time job is a secondary school teacher. But he was able to notice, oh, I always have time in the evening. So, and I know how to ride a bike. That's a skill. So he decided, okay, I can get a loan, or with my savings, I can buy a motorcycle, and from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or whatever time, I can start making extra money from this, right? So side hustles are everywhere. It all depends on your skill, your time, and what you're willing to do. Another side hustle can be, if you're good with social media, you can become a community manager. Who is a community manager? People that, for example, like on my page, sometimes I'm very busy. I don't have time to reply to all the messages that they send to me, all the comments and all of that. There is somebody that who is good with that, and I put her on a monthly salary, and she can start managing that page, right? Although I still manage my page right now, I'm giving an example. So one thing you can do is that you can train yourself to become a community manager where you can identify people that have pages with large following and they don't have the time to reply all comments, the time to reply all messages, and you can apply with them and do that. You can do this by, you can also upgrade your skill by learning how to do graphic design using your phone, right? That way you are not just an average community manager, but you have an extra skill that makes you valuable to do that, right? Another side hustle can be that maybe you're also good with online and you have a good following. You can decide and do buying and selling what they call arbitrage. For example, you can go to stores in big markets and create a relationship, snap pictures of what you can sell, come and post on your status, on your pages and sell and get a commission from it, right? That's a side hustle. So you just need to identify what is the gap. Look at your skills. For example, there are some of you that maybe you know how to make a cake, but you have a full-time job as a teacher or a secretary or whatever. You can decide and have a side hustle during the weekend where you make cakes for events. You just need to promote it the right way and get the right attention. Okay, good. So I hope that helps. There is a question here on, let me see, the next question is, this for somebody who maybe is an author. How can I get a foreign bank account to start up with Amazon KDP? Okay, so somebody in Cameroon who's a writer, and this is a question I get a lot, and I want to address this now. If you're here and you're a writer and you desire to get on Amazon, I always like to say that Amazon is not for everybody. There are people who spend money to get on Amazon and they will never sell one book. Amazon is not for everybody. You cannot be in Cameroon, in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Bamenda, and you know nobody, you don't have any international brand or global brand, and you want to get your book on Amazon. Who's going to buy it? I know many people who will get books on Amazon. They will come and complain to me. Nobody, since I got my book on Amazon, it's been 6 months, it's been 1 year, nobody has bought the book. You see? So if you are writing a book and you are in Africa, you're anywhere in Africa, your major focus is to sell the book where you have influence, because people buy the writer of the book before the content in the book. You see? So because I've seen many people who have spent money to have an Amazon account, pay people to set up their accounts and get the books on Amazon and all of that, but at the end they have never made a franc, not even one sale after 2 years, after 1 year of being on Amazon, right? Because the focus, Amazon is a channel to sell. And if you are using a channel where people don't know you, or where your target market is not there, you're just going to waste money and resources and time on the wrong channel. So it's better that you can move from church to church and ask pastors to give you the opportunity to talk about your book and try to sell. You can identify events, conferences, and seminars and partner with the organizers and have a stand there to sell your books. You see, because you see people now saying, "Oh, I'm not able to get a book on Amazon because I'm not able to get an international bank account." If you cannot even get an international bank account, how are you even trying to get a book on Amazon? Because if something as basic as a bank account internationally, you can't even get it, so why even trying to get a book on Amazon? You see, so there are many things that you're trying to skip a lot. And I'm saying this from experience. I know many Cameroonian authors, many Nigerian authors that have come to me that, "Oh, I'm not able to get a book on Amazon, but I have my book on Amazon and I spend money to get a book on Amazon and I've never sold anything." Because you put your book on Amazon doesn't mean that you're going to sell. For example, let me check something here. How many books are on Amazon at the moment? Let me show you something. At the moment, it is showing that at the moment right now, Amazon contains 32.8 million books right now. 32.8 million books right now. Now imagine you are trying to put your book on Amazon that you have You don't even have up to 5,000 followers. Your brand is just struggling. You are not, you have nothing that really makes sense. You have never even been on TV. So there are many dynamics in place. People that sell on Amazon are people with brand and influence. Except you get a book on Amazon and you've looked for money again to do paid ads on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. And if you're a young person and you're still struggling financially, how will you even get the money to do all of that? So there are many people who try to get on Amazon when meanwhile it is not time. It is not yet their time to get on Amazon yet. You see, even my first book that I got on Amazon, I did not sell one copy years ago. It is now that I can make money by selling, it is now that I'm able to make money on Amazon by selling books, because I have been able to travel 20 plus countries and I have that brand to that level where I can get that attention and people can buy the books, right? So, if you are still a struggling author, you are still struggling professional, still trying to stand, Amazon is not your priority now. Focus on where you have influence. Go to schools in your community, go to churches, go to local events, go to Njangi groups, go to where people know you and or where you have access and you can directly influence people to do that. How can you have no brand, you have no budget, you have no publisher and all of that? And how do you expect to compete with 32 million books and sell from Cameroon? How do you expect to do that? It's basic logic. Don't come and tell me by God's grace. God's grace does not mean stupidity. Right? You get the concept? Good. I hope it helps somebody. The next question is from, let me see, before I'm asking old questions. For those who are joining right now, I'm just answering questions that people sent. I asked one time for people to leave questions for me to respond to. That's what I'm doing today. Okay, there's a question here by Modesta. She's saying, us that are doing small scale business, for example, me that is selling firewood in my neighborhood, what are those things I can take into consideration in order to grow my business? The first thing is to grow your capital. The more you can sell, the faster you're going to grow. The second thing is to expand your customer base. How can you sell to more people, right? Another way to do is if you can save some money from your firewood business and add another value to sell, not just selling firewood. What can you attach to the firewood to sell? Maybe, for example, you have noticed that most people that buy firewood from you are women, and women are always buying to cook. Maybe you can start selling things that will help them to cook, maybe tomatoes or whatever. So you can add more value to do that, right? Or you can plan to transition from retailing to being a wholesaler or doing the two. Because if you are retailing, you buy from a wholesaler, and it means a wholesaler is making more money. Or how can you eliminate the wholesaler and buy yourself so you keep all the margin and sell directly to the customers and make more money, right? So these are some things that you can do to do that. Or you can start with firewood and transition to a different business totally after saving some money for a while. Okay, but these are some things you can consider if you're going to grow your business. And one thing to note is that there are some businesses that you can never grow them. The highest you can do is you can increase the volume of what you're doing, but you cannot really scale them in terms of scaling and really making money that makes sense. Okay, you also need to look at that. This kind of business I'm running, does it really have a future? Will I really be able to scale this business and make the money I want to make as a business person? Okay, look at those considerations. Good. Next question, and then I'm done for today. I was planning for a 30-minute session. Next question is, how can I manage money gotten from business so it doesn't fail? Sharon Eneke. How can I manage money gotten from business so it doesn't fail? Now, this is a very important question because many people go through this particular challenge, right? There are many people that they are actually making the money from their small business, but the challenge is they don't have the discipline to actually manage the money. Poor financial management is one of the biggest challenges that people are going through in business. The first thing is treat your business separate from you. I don't care how small your business is. Treat your business as a separate entity from you. Separate your business finances from your finances. Avoid taking money from business anyhow. Make up your mind that if you are going to take money from this business, it will only be at the end of the month. You understand? It's very important. And the funny thing is, this is something that only you can do. If I say like this, you don't go do it, it's only going to trouble you at the end. But these are the foundation. Okay? Learn to treat yourself separate. Whether your business is a very small roadside business, that is an entity from you. And learn how to pay yourself from that small business. The challenge is with small businesses, people just take money anytime they want. They just take money anytime, they just take it. No. Make sure that you put yourself on a budget as far as that business is concerned. At the end of the month, you can make up your mind that every month I can only take 20,000 francs from this business as my pay. And you discipline yourself that if that 20,000 francs is finished, you wait till the end of the month before you can take it. You can decide and borrow money from a friend, from a family member. Meanwhile, you're selling. I have done that many times. My money is finished, my personal upkeep is finished, but I run a business with employees, but I cannot take money from that business. You see, I cannot take it. I will better maybe call a friend and borrow money. Meanwhile, I have a business that is making money on a daily basis. But as long as it's an entity, I can only get paid at the end of the month. That's how you grow a business. If you run a business that you will be picking up money anytime and anybody just pick up. Your son comes, you just say, go and take 100 francs and do this. Your daughter comes, take this. Somebody from the village comes, take this. That's how you kill the business. That's how you kill the business. So you need to separate that. Discipline yourself. The business money is not your money. Many people have silently eaten their capital and they realize later that, oh, the business is dying because I actually, consumed the capital. Okay? All right, everybody. That is it we had for today to answer questions. I still have about 100+ questions that many of you sent, and I have saved all the questions in my phone, and hopefully as I create time I will be answering all of these questions as soon as possible so that we clarify them so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Somebody's making a very important point here. Accountability is very important, and that's where the power of mentorship comes in, right? When you have somebody who can hold you accountable and mentor you or follow you up, or somebody you report to, it is very important to do that. Okay? So sometimes on your own you cannot discipline yourself to actually respect how you spend your money. But if you have somebody who holds you accountable and you report to, it becomes a challenge for you. So get an accountability partner and they will definitely help you a lot to do that. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have another live session This was I did not announce this live session on the page because I did not plan. I just had some time in my schedule. I just say let me jump in on this live session and start answering the questions that many of you asked. Hopefully tomorrow we will have another live session and talk about this between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Cameroon time. Just check the page and see. Thank you so much to everybody who commented, everybody who shared. I've seen everybody. God bless you and enjoy your evening. Cheers.